Coming up this week on Wrestle Remarks, is WWE really deciding who gets television time based on the Moneyball style analytics system? Because if that's the reason Ilja Dragunov has disappeared, we've got some questions.
A lot of questions.
We were just talking about it.
We sure were.
Ric Flair is once again standing in the wrestling ring, making everybody nervous. Asuka's WWE future gets a little clearer. Malakai Black officially has his first match after leaving WWE.
So somebody's getting kicked into another time zone, and it's against a fellow former WWE star.
Or even another dimension. Who knows? Especially after you hear who that former star is. Plus, we got CM Punk and Kevin Owens turning 20 years of real history into one hell of a championship promo. Gunther continues being the biggest a-hole on SmackDown. Roman Reigns tries to put Solo back in his place.
That didn't go according to plan.
Nah. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. And WWE is officially giving us Obafemi versus Braun Breaker.
Big meaty men.
Yep, there it is. All that and more. Plus, your SmackDown, your NXT. So, that's this week on Wrestle Remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, marks of all ages, welcome to another episode of Wrestle Remarks. I am your host, Chris, and as always, joining me is my tag team partner in this weekly exercise of figuring out what the hell happened in professional wrestling.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's me. It's YC3, PAT. You see me.
Bang!
Bang! Professional wrestling has officially reached the point where we have a haunted LSD ranch in the news this week.
Yeah. Wow. That's something you wouldn't have expected to hear when we're talking about wrestling, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and somehow it might not even crack the top 5's weirdest things we're talking about. And we're not talking about no random flag blowing out power in New York this time.
Which means there is only one way to get this started. You already know.
Oh, I know.
What time it is.
I know.
It's time. It's time. It's news time.
Man, we need the Vader.
No, bro, that was the worst. Oh, man. Of course, we want to start with something that immediately caught our attention because we have been wondering where the hell has Ilja Dragunov been?
Where?
Ilja hasn't been seen on WWE television since WrestleMania 42, and WrestleVotes was recently asked if there was any word on a return. The answer was essentially they haven't heard his name in weeks. But then the conversation got a little more interesting. They suggested that WWE is becoming increasingly reliant on analytics when deciding on who gets TV time. Things like audience behavior, engagement, searches, merchandise, whether people are clicking on his name, and apparently even whether viewers are tuning out when somebody appears. They described it as the WWE's version of a Moneyball approach.
Yeah, I mean, and I see and I understand using numbers. You're a massive company. Obviously, you're looking at the data.
Yeah.
Triple H always got the little cheaters on to look at the data.
Yeah, I know it's sucks for some people, but it's understandable. I see where you come from there. This guy's not selling any merch. Why do we still have him on TV? Mm-hmm. Or, people are tuning out when he's there. It makes loads of sense. The numbers can tell you something, but they also can't tell you everything, though.
Exactly.
Because if you decide somebody isn't connecting and your response is, well, let's put him on TV less, how is that exactly supposed to change those numbers when it comes to that person?
Yeah. Especially somebody like Ilja Dragunov. Giving that dude 20 minutes with the right opponent and people remember him quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And that's the part that not only bothers me, but I would say bothers us.
Yeah.
They also mentioned that Ilja barely has any merchandise, 1 or 2 shirts, they say. So if merchandise is one of the metrics for popularity, what are we measuring here? You can say nobody's buying his stuff, but when you're barely giving people stuff to buy, what are they going to buy?
Exactly. It's like opening a lemonade stand with no lemonade and saying there's no market for lemonade.
Hey, got any grapes?
I'll make you some...
away.
Oh gosh.
Oh, sorry. Old YouTube. We're old. And none of this means the analytics report is definitely the entire reason that Ilja isn't being used. I know he had just came off injury and then got another injury scare, so that could also be a part. But if this is really becoming the significant part of WWE's creative decision making, I think it is worth watching, because wrestling still needs that human element. Sometimes somebody gets over because you give them an opportunity before the spreadsheet even says they are over.
Yeah. He's over in my book.
We also finally get a little more clarity on Asuka. There has been a lot of speculation about her future, especially after that emotional video she put out talking about how nothing lasts forever and how fans should appreciate seeing her because those appearances may become rare. Now, we talked about this before, and she's now transitioning into part-time, and Russell Votes was saying they want her back already. Of course, the door isn't closed. Whether she's ready, or whenever she's ready, WWE is apparently ready for her. But the important part is Asuka is reportedly operating on a part-time schedule now.
Which makes a lot of sense. Everything she has said makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah. Wasn't saying, I'm retired. She was basically telling everybody, you're not going to see me every Monday or every Friday now.
Yeah.
I'm completely fine with that. But Asuka has given WWE like more than a decade. What more do you want from her?
Exactly.
If she wants the schedule where she comes back, kicks everybody's head off for 3 months and disappears again, and then randomly shows up when nobody expects her.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. That's when the pop gets hot.
Oh, and it sounds perfect to me. I mean, because it's Asuka and nobody is ready for Asuka.
Not even WWE.
Yeah.
They say they are.
Hey, they ain't ready.
It really is perfect for her, though, and absence may be helping her at this stage. You hear that music after you haven't seen Asuka in like 4 or 5 months, and that's the reaction right there.
Exactly.
Next up, we've got 2 Malakai Black stories, and really they kind of belong together because after leaving WWE earlier this year, there were reportedly some preliminary communication between Malakai Black and MLW. It never got particularly far, but apparently there was no falling out or anything like that. It was just they didn't develop into a deal. That was about it. AEW also reportedly still hasn't shown any interest in bringing him back. So for now, Malakai is a free agent, and we do know where he's going to wrestle next, though.
And this is going to be a good one.
It is, because September 4th in Edinburgh for Progress Wrestling, Malakai Black versus Dijak.
Ooh, yes. Yes, that's going to be great.
Man, I hadn't heard Dominic Dijakovic in so long until the other day I was playing and I was like, oh man, I was watching that War Games I was telling you about, the one with Keith Lee, Kevin Owens comes back, all that good stuff. But they said that, I was like, man, imagine if this guy comes back.
Oh yeah.
And who knows? I mean, he was tagging with Baron Corbin before he made his return.
True. And that his entrance before he left was so good, bro.
Yeah, it was. Well, at least the NXT one, not the crowbar? T-bar.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, we're talking
Which one was it?
We're talking about Dijak with the glasses, homie.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know.
Don't do me like that. Heck no.
Of course, this is Malakai's first match since April, and apparently it's his first time facing Dijak in Europe. So that sounds like those two guys are going to spend 15 minutes attempting to pretty much remove each other's heads.
Yeah, and Dijak is gigantic, and that dude can move for a big dude. Malakai kicks like he has personal issues with your rib cage. I'm in
too, man. And Dijak's got them big boots like no other, bro.
I'm all in. And they're gonna go all out.
Oh my god. But your favorite big boot is Tess. This is a Tess.
Yeah. That's my boy.
Oh man. But honestly, this might be exactly what Malakai needs. Forget rushing into another major company immediately. Go wrestle, go have a few interesting matches. Remind everybody why Malakai Black was such an intriguing wrestler in the first place. Then see what the market looks like, because you're just going to see more dollars after that.
Woo!
Oh, hell. Now, speaking of wrestlers who may need somebody to hide their boots.
And trunks.
And rope.
Yeah, and everything else.
Ric Flair.
No.
Rick posted a picture of himself standing inside a wrestling ring and talked about how no matter how much time passes, the ring still feels like home. Now, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just Ric Flair being nostalgic. But the problem is...
it's Ric Flair.
Yeah, it's Ric Flair.
Woo!
The man had his WWE retirement against Shawn Michaels in 2008. Then went to TNA to wrestle again. And I think, didn't he have a retirement match there too? At one point? I can't remember.
I don't remember, bro.
But then he had his advertised final match in 2022.
Yeah.
Where he teamed up with Andrade. Or, he does go by Andrade still, right? Yeah. Then Ric Flair later revealed that he had suffered a heart attack during that match, which is wild.
You're selling it too light. He said multiple.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
He said his life was flashing before his eyes.
But he's now 77 years old. Charlotte was even asked previously about him wrestling again. Her answer was essentially...
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No.
Yes.
And Charlotte is correct, man. Like, I don't need Ric Flair to prove anything else. There's no wrestling fan alive who needs one more match before they're willing to call Ric Flair one of the greatest professional wrestlers in history. He already is.
Yes, exactly. Sit ringside, cut promos, woo, at people. Do literally anything else but get your butt back in the ring, bro.
Exactly, man. The ring can be your forever home without you taking another suplex in it or just another bump in general.
Look, I think he just needs to hear this, that to be the man, you don't need to beat a man anymore. Dude, you beat the man.
You're already above the man.
Yeah, you've been the man.
Time.
Yeah.
Another former WWE talent has already resurfaced after his run as JC Mateo came to an end. Jeff Cobb has returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he didn't just walk back into United Empire. At G1 Finals, United Empire had beaten Unbound Co. Things continued after the bell. Grito hinted that he knew somebody who could deal with Callum Newman. And out comes Jeff Cobb.
That's a much better use of Jacob, dang. Fatu, Jeff Cobb already.
It is. Cobb confronted his former partner and ultimately laid out Newman, apparently aligning himself with Unbound Co. instead of returning to United Empire. And I really like this for him. His WWE run never became what it looked like it could be.
Yeah.
New Japan already knows exactly what Jeff Cobb is capable of, and Cobb knows how to work there. The fans know him. You can immediately put him into something meaningful without spending 6 months explaining who he is.
Yeah, sometimes going back home is a nice reset.
Yeah, and he absolutely needed it. And if he tears it up in New Japan, who knows what opportunities come after that.
Yep.
Well, all right, Pat. That is all our big, heavy stories. Now, let's clean off the rest of the board.
Bah, 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 bah. Rapid fire.
Pew, pew. Quick hits. Now, Marie Malenko, daughter of Dean Malenko and granddaughter of the great Boris Malenko, third generation wrestler, has another WWE ring name. and it's going to be Kenzie. After previously working as Lacey Simon, she was confirmed now that she was going by Kenzie, and I think it was one of her Instagram stories. She's already been working NXT dark matches and live events, so
wrestling has more than one royal family.
Oh man.
Oh, this wrestling family tree is definitely strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
The force is strong with that one.
It sure is. I need to see power bombs and then Texas Cloverleafs after.
Yes.
That's all I'm asking.
She better be a technical master.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what she has in store. Now, Jay White and his wife, Savannah, announced they're expecting their first child in February of 2027. So, congratulations to the White family.
Baby Switchblade, he gonna come out with a... Smack me, doctor, I dare you.
And now, for the sentence Pat teased at the beginning of the show, Logan Paul is selling his 78-acre California ranch just under $3 million is what he's asking for it. The property was once associated with Timothy Leary and members of the Brotherhood of Eternal Love who were involved with the production and distribution of Orange Sunshine LSD. Logan also previously said that he believed the place was haunted because he heard stuff.
I'm not even gonna... This does sound like a real estate, more like a GTA side mission for sure, bro. That's wild.
WWE superstar sells haunted LSD ranch once connected to the man Richard Nixon called the most dangerous man in America. What a headline.
That's insane.
Now, some unfortunate news for ECW's Blue Meanie. He revealed he's dealing with broken ribs after a fall, and also recently suffered a death in the family. No timetable for his recovery, so obviously best wishes to Meanie and his family for this trying time.
Absolutely.
AJ Styles continues campaigning for LA Knight.
Yeah.
AJ says he's never seen anybody more ready to become WWE World Champion and believes Knight has everything necessary to represent the company at that level.
Yeah, he's LA freaking Knight. Yeah.
It's these dummies at WWE that don't give it to him.
Dummies.
Yeah.
Look like the only dummy. It was Roman Reigns this week. Yeah.
Oh, man. We'll get to that once we get to the show.
Yeah.
Now, TNA has revamped TNA Plus with a new VIP tier. It's $19.99 monthly or $129.99 annually, with an introductory annual price of $100. Well, $99.99. $100. Come on now. But that's using their promotional code for new subscribers. The big selling point is that the VIP membership includes every TNA pay-per-view. Individual pay-per-views are still being sold separately for $39.99.
Yeah, if you're regularly watching their pay-per-views, $20 for the month makes a hell of a lot more sense than $40 for one show. WWE.
It really does.
$70 for some dang ESPN, pretty much.
I don't know how much it is.
I don't know either. I'm over exaggerating. It could be $100.
I know you are, because I think it's like 30 something. But yeah, like you said, it would make a hell of a lot more sense to pay less than it would. But it's because they were also doing their whole thing where you would only get all the pay-per-views if you bought the annual thing. If you were paying monthly, you would get, a little bit of pay-per-views here and there, but that was about it. You wouldn't get all the pay-per-views.
Well, I guess that is a haluva deal.
Yeah, especially with lockdown coming this Sunday in Chicago, that's probably exactly the fan that they're targeting right there. I know that their old membership, I need to look more into this new membership, because I remember their old membership also offered discounts when it came to tickets and everything like that, and you would get first dibs. Now, AEW All in London is approaching, and according to Fightful, Tekla has been penciled in for the show, but there's still no clarity on what exactly she is doing. Considering how hot she's been on television, hopefully she's got something worthwhile, though. Steph DeLander and Matt Warner were pulled from an independent booking recently because they've been called in for AEW Collision and ROH tapings. No confirmation yet on exactly what they'll be doing, but clearly somebody wants them in the building, and I've always loved me some Steph DeLander. Matt's, I like him to an extent. I don't know, that I'm not with his promos as much, but his grittiness and his work speaks for itself.
I just can't never forgive him for that Stone Cold crap.
Oh yeah, because he sounded like him hardcore.
I could not.
Now Lance Archer revealed that he was briefly cast as Leatherface in the early 2000s Chainsaw Massacre era. According to Archer, the director was already ready to give him the role, but Andrew, I don't even know how to say his last name right, Brian Narski, ultimately landed the part after reportedly going above the director's head. That would have been crazy to see Lance Archer be in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. At that time, he was in TNA, right? I forget. I was trying to remember the other day what his name was there, and I can't remember it for the life of me. I remember when he came to AEW and when he was on the Indies and going by Lance Archer, I was like, hey, that's... And I used to call him the old name, but I can't remember it for the life of me.
Lance Archer has Leatherface making way too much sense.
It really does. It's a 6'8" professional wrestler with a chainsaw. Nobody even needs to act scared at that point.
Exactly.
Now, Javon Evans explained why his January match with El Grande Americano was stopped, as he was on Chris Van Vliet this week. They butted heads. Javon told the ref that he was briefly seeing stars. And once he admitted that, Medical wasn't letting the match continue.
Of course.
But Javon was adamant, hey, this is my first time, let me in there.
Who won it?
Which, of course, was the correct call. I understand him being, upset at himself and wanting to continue. But things happen. He also talked about a missed RKO with Randy Orton from NXT in 2024. And apparently they never practiced that spot beforehand. They had a general idea, went for it live, and the timing wasn't there. And Javon said he was pissed that he missed that one. But Randy immediately reassured him afterward.
And that's wrestling. Sometimes the cool idea in the world doesn't work, and that the first time, that's fine, man.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when your idea is, I'm going to spin through the air and hopefully Randy Orton catches my skull.
I mean, well, that's usually what the heck happens in the first place.
Dang, is Randy missing a step?
I don't know.
Is it because he wasn't the worst part of himself?
No.
Now, Dax Harwood says that the Revival versus American Alpha and NXT TakeOver Dallas was the match that really lit a fuse for himself and Cash Wheeler. He also called Cash one of the most underrated wrestlers in the world and says that Cash is capable of doing far more athletically than people realize because he adopted his style to fit what FTR represents.
Yeah.
Just fists.
Yes, yeah.
Remember when Cash tripped over that SmackDown?
Yes.
Good
Cash
stuff.
is one of those guys where you don't realize how ridiculous he is until you really watch him instead of watching FTR's unit. And besides them being great wrestlers, they remind me of, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson so well. But shout out to them for punching that dude who tackled Bret Hart during that speech.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were on him.
New Day, too.
Yeah, New Day, too.
Now, Raquel Rodriguez says Survivor Series is hands down her favorite WWE PLE, which is convenient because War Games is heading to her home state of Texas this year. She also talked about originally having ambitions to play college basketball and even dreaming about the WNBA before wrestling ultimately became her career.
Hey.
Of course, she went on to talk about, this with ESPN because it was in conjunction with ESPN. I think it was ESPN Houston Radio. So, we were talking about how ESPN is trying to integrate it. It seems like it is going into the sports side.
Yeah.
To the point where she's like, yeah, I did want to play in the WNBA, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But now I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Survivor Series is probably one of my favorites too, to be honest.
Yeah, I've always loved me some Survivor Series. Dude.
I've always loved the big five. Well,
yeah, 6.
It's not 5 anymore.
Yeah.
4.
4, yeah.
Because King of the Ring was in the big 5.
True.
Bully Ray also said that on Busted Open Radio that he thinks Spike Dudley deserves WWE Hall of Fame induction. His argument is basically very few wrestlers made more people look like absolute killers than Spike did. Bam Bam Bigelow tossing him into that ECW crowd. Brock powerbombing him. Taker launching him over the ropes.
Yeah, dude was definitely a freaking crash test dummy.
Yeah, he was.
Like, that wasn't no, let's cut the camera and put the dummy and put a blonde wig on him. That was Spike Dudley, bro.
And we mean that with the utmost respect and affectionately.
Thank you for putting your body on the line for us. You missing that table? Oh, my God.
Oh, scary, man.
Yeah.
Now, would you put Spike in? I think I would.
I mean, I just put him in with the Dudleys as a whole.
Yeah, but they already have the Dudleys in there.
True.
Give the Dudleys another ring for the Dudleys.
For the ECW Dudleys.
Oh, yeah. I guess you could, but we'll have to see what happens with Spike. I can't wait to see a ref enter the Hall of Fame. I'm waiting for that day.
A what?
A ref.
Oh, yeah. I can name 2 off the bat. Earl Hebner, first and foremost. Little Nate. Mike Chioda. We can go on and on.
Yeah, Mike Chioda was a good one. Now, WWE has some unusual television schedules coming up. Raw next week in Ottawa starts at 5 p.m. Central, with WWE reportedly double taping Raw and SmackDown. The following Raw is also expected to be taped alongside SmackDown in Cleveland. So it's going to be 2 weeks of taped Raws and SmackDowns. The reported reason is to lighten the workload before WWE heads out to its Mexico and South America tour. So, spoiler season is upon us.
Bum, bum, bum.
Now, Kevin Nash says he hasn't really been watching WWE since WrestleMania. Not because he suddenly hates wrestling. It's just because it's summer. He lives by the ocean. He's got things to do. And he also talked about how negative wrestling podcast has become.
Yeah, Chris. No,
I don't think we're very negative.
So
but,
as you can see, for the summer, what's the adjective? Play.
It's not even an adjective.
I know. It's so great.
Oh man.
But Kevin Nash looked outside at the beach and said, "You know what? I'm not arguing about wrestling today. F you, Twitter. I'm chilling on the beach."
He said there's something calming and soothing about laying on his roof and hearing the kids play off in the distance, having a blast in the ocean, just listening to everything.
Yeah. I'll be there chilling with the belly gun.
Oh, yeah. If I had a beach home, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Yeah. Kevin Nash may have figured out life.
Dude, I'm barbecuing. Sleet, snow, rain, tornadoes.
Hurricanes. Let that hit me.
The chicken's almost done, babe.
Oh, man. And finally, former WWE recruit Lance Anoa'i says he plans to retire from professional wrestling in March 2027. He wants to reach 17 years in the business and then step away so he can spend more time with his wife and kids. So he's not finished yet, but the farewell tour officially has an end date, and that takes us out of this week's Newswire. Most best wishes to you, Lance Anoa'i. It's too bad that nothing ever came of that recruitment. I was hoping to see, because I've always enjoyed Lance's work, but it doesn't happen for everybody.
No, it does not.
Now let's get down to SmackDown. This show started with Chelsea Green possibly having the shortest championship celebration in history. Chelsea suffered that broken orbital bone. Nick Aldis initially told her that medical wouldn't clear her So she needed to relinquish the WWE Women's Championship. She talks about... I mean, we were talking about this before we even came here. She gave one of the most best serious promos I want to say she's ever done.
Yep.
She talks about spending her career as being the joke, getting hit with pies, getting thrown in dumpsters, being everybody else's opponent and making everybody else look good. And finally, she gets her championship moment at SummerSlam, only to have it stripped away immediately after.
Yeah, and it worked because Chelsea usually is the joke. So she stops being funny for a minute. You pay attention.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Once you see that person actually almost, I don't want to say snap because she didn't snap, but you know, in a sense.
Yeah, nah.
And she gets through the Nick Aldis though. He changes course and gives her 30 days to get medically cleared. Or he even said, get a mask, get cleared, do whatever you have to do. Until somebody beats you for it, you're still champion.
Awesome. Almost cried.
That was a great moment right there. But Gunther walks out immediately and decides there has been entirely too much happiness.
Yeah, he's a fun sucker. For sure.
He dismisses Chelsea and the entire emotional speech. He's demanding answers from Aldis about SummerSlam. And complains that Kevin Owens got added to his match. But Aldis corrects him. Kevin wasn't added to Gunther's match. Gunther was added to Kevin's match. Which, I mean, makes sense. Kevin won.
Exactly.
So it was his match, right?
I know that one hurt.
Chelsea laughs. Gunther tells her to shut up. Chelsea immediately fires back, telling him there's only one champion in the ring. And Gunther gets in her face. Next thing up, Matt Cardona comes flying in to defend his wife.
Woo.
You know it.
That's my boo-boo.
Nice. Gunther basically asks what the hell Cardona thinks he's going to do about it. Cardona punches him in the mouth, and all of a sudden we got an impromptu match.
Yeah.
So Cardona gets some offense in. Even catches Gunther with a low blow and a Rough Rider after Chelsea creates some distraction, but Gunther eventually murders dude with the back-to-back power bombs and makes Cardona submit in the Boston Crab.
Beautiful.
Then, she's not like most girls. Oh no. Nia Jax and Lash Legend show up. Nia sees Chelsea's injury and basically smells blood at this point.
It is Shark Week.
It's not.
Well, it was Shark
It
Week.
was Shark Week like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Still Shark Week, dog.
Man. She wants the championship, and she reminds Chelsea that she has a pretty good history when it comes to breaking faces. Tiffany Stratton runs out to help Chelsea, but Nia and Lash overwhelm her.
She needs to stop saying that because every time she breaks somebody's face, they become a bigger star than her. So Chelsea has 30 days to heal an orbital bone while Nia Jax is telling her she got hit in the face. You know, she's going to hit her in the face.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
I don't want that to happen.
Hopefully not.
I mean, she ain't gonna have no orbital.
You better find that Taker mask stat.
For real.
We also got the continuation of this bizarre Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Tatum Paxley relationship. Alexa brings Charlotte into a surprise Tatum put together, and it's basically the world's tiniest locker room filled with candles and pictures of the frenemies.
Yeah, that's completely normal.
Yeah. No obsession here.
Yeah. Totally giving
nothing concerning whatsoever.
Yeah.
Giving Mickey James vibes of the early 2000s or the mid 2000s. I want to say.
We old.
Alexa says Tatum reminds her of herself, which I mean,
is also concerning.
Yeah, because now Lily's back too. Yeah. So what are we getting here?
We need a Lily picture right here next to Bray.
Or abandon all hope of you who will enter here.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's a good idea.
Need to 3D print that. Anyway, Cody tells Nick Aldis that he wants Randy Orton next.
Where is he?
Oh. Oh, man. I'll just float Sunday
Love you,
night's
Cody.
main event in Atlanta. Then Sami Zayn arrives and is pissed because, from his perspective, Cody asked for something and Aldis immediately starts figuring out how to make it happen for him. Meanwhile, Sami had to jump through hoops, and every possible hoop that he jumped through for his own championship opportunity was just squandered because he was dealing with a broken hand the entire time. Cody finally gets tired of hearing it. Sami reminds him that the last time they were in the ring together, Sami pinned Cody clean.
He did.
Cody challenges him to do it again that night.
He probably could.
Aldis adds the incentive. If Sami beats Cody, the winner, Sami gets the winner of CM Punk versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And that match gets made. We'll come back to that and how that all went down
Yes, sir.
once we get to that match.
Man, you know, why does Cody look like Doug from 51st Dates?
Jesus.
I'm just saying that.
Oh my God! I didn't.
Where he had the back.
I didn't even. Yes, I didn't even think of that, and now I can't get that image out of my head.
I'm sorry.
That's terrible.
I just saw the meme the other day. I
Oh
had to say
jeez.
that. I was thinking about that.
Now Carmelo Hayes gets another crack at Baron Corbin's United States Championship. Melo throws everything at him, catches him with 2 first 48s, but Corbin survives and hits the end of days to retain. Then that's when Trick Willie appears.
Let's talk about it.
And Lil Yachty tries to attack Corbin with the trick stick.
Wrestling in 2026.
I know, I would have never thought I would say Lil Yachty in the same sentence as SmackDown.
Or even Trick Stick.
Yeah, that too. Corbin takes it away from him, but allows Trick to nail Corbin with a trick shot. So that issue obviously isn't finished, and Trick is coming back for his belt. But I would say Melo is probably going to try and continue to enter that picture as well. I hate to see him just fade off into the background. I love Melo.
I mean, it's looking tricky.
Oh, man. And now we get to what was possibly the segment probably the segment of the night. CM Punk and Kevin Owens, 20 years of history, finally gets dragged onto WWE television. Owens brings up their time in the independents when Punk was already one of the top guys and Kevin was still trying to establish himself. ROH days. According to Owens, Punk humiliated him in front of the locker room. And Kevin has never forgot.
This is where wrestling is at its best. You don't need to invite history. You have history. Invent history. Excuse me. You have history and you better use it.
Yeah. Kevin tells Punk that basically every friend he has in wrestling hates him. But Punk responds, being hated by losers is the price he pays for not being one. I love that line.
Bars.
And from there, they just started cutting each other apart. Owens says Punk's entire redemption story is performative. That Punk only came back and made amends because he burned every other bridge and had nowhere else to go. Kevin points out everything he's accomplished while Punk has been gone. Championships, main event, and main eventing at WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Dude, that's a championship within itself.
Yeah, it is. Now, Punk gives him credit and then asks whether Kevin thinks he would have gotten all those opportunities if Punk had never left.
Disrespectful. Dirty.
He did do him dirty, man. Punk basically tells Kevin he sees wasted potential. A tough guy, a talented guy, but somebody who doesn't put in the work Punk believes he should. He then even brings up Goldberg and Owens' title reign, which that one hurt me.
Yeah. I don't want to relive that, Punk.
For real. Kevin responds by saying he spent his entire career making sure he didn't become CM Punk. And then he throws Roman Reigns spearing Punk at WrestleMania right back in his face. Finally, Kevin says he's regretted for 20 years that he didn't punch Punk in the mouth back then. Punk says there's nothing between them but space and opportunity. Do it now. Not because he's afraid, because he's waited 20 years and he can wait one more, or at least one more week to punch Punk at Toronto. Because of course you're going to refuse so you can punch him at home, right?
Yeah.
And he says he's going to take that WWE Championship.
And that's how you sell a title match.
That is.
That's how you sell some tickets.
True. And KO at home? Come on, man. They managed to make it feel personal without needing a pull-apart brawl, which I loved.
Yeah.
It's enough pull-apart brawls. Like,
real.
Start eviscerating each other on the mic.
Yeah, and CM Punk talking all that crap about him losing his belt to Goldberg. Didn't you cry about losing to Dwayne for like years?
Yes. I was going to say that.
What did he call him? Cookie Puss?
Yeah.
That's what he was acting like.
Yep.
Dwayne to my
I did want his shirt whenever he had that the knees to faces, because Rock had the boots to asses one.
That was a good one.
But yeah, like I said, I much rather have something like this other than a pull apart all the time, you know?
Yeah. Especially with Punk, because, he's old.
Oh, you keep doing this. Two guys
I love you, Punk.
Stood there and convinced you genuinely that they couldn't stand each other, and that's what we need. Finn Balor also returns after taking a week to decompress in Dublin. He tells Aldis he wants another path to the championship. Then Gunther interrupts and tells Finn he's basically a shadow of the man he used to be. Finn finally gets tired of Gunther talking down on everybody and calls him a condescending prick. So Finn says if getting back to the title means going through Gunther, he'd happily beat his ass.
He said arse.
Arse.
Give me that match. That's going to be a good one.
Yep. I love me some Gunther and I love me some Finn Balor, so I'm down for it.
Yep.
Now Damian Priest and R-Truth defended against the War Raiders and the MFTs in a triple threat, and that might have been a mistake because this one was absolute chaos. Talataga was throwing people around, man. Priest was flying. Truth was doing Truth things, as Truth normally does. War Raiders nearly stealing it, but Tamatonga catches Truth with the and the MFTs hit that Brothers Keeper, and we get your new WWE Tag Team Champions, the MFTs.
And now Shinsuke Nakamura is already warning them that he had a mystery partner coming.
Which we need to figure that one out, too.
Which, it wasn't obvious in the silhouette of who was behind the curtain.
He describes his partner as experienced, vicious, deadly, chaos, and a ticking time bomb, which I think he was also in the group Chaos. Wasn't he in New Japan?
I believe so.
So there's your little teaser there.
Who else has hair like that?
Apparently, he was supposed to have an introduction in that, but it was cut. I don't know why, but that's the word out on the streets, That's
what they said.
But take that with a grain of salt. Now Tiffany Stratton defended against JC Jane.
Boo.
And remember, Tiffy already got beat down earlier in the night, which didn't help for her when she was helping Chelsea.
Boo.
Now Chelsea eventually comes out to support Tiffany. Fatal Influence gets involved. Chelsea gets involved. Tiffany wipes out Fatal Influence to the floor, but in all the chaos, JC catches her with a rolling encore. Man, I love that rolling encore. It's beautiful. Your new WWE United States Champion, JC Jane. Yes! Finally! I told you it was going to happen.
2 titles change on the same SmackDown.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Pretty good.
MFTs get the tag titles. JC gets that women's United States title.
Nice.
And Chelsea is desperately trying to make sure she keeps hers. I like the way this one's going. Now, we also get Paige firing back at Nikki Bella. She responds and she rejects Nikki's version of history that Paige needed the Bellas to revive her career. Paige reminds her she spent 8 years fighting her way back. What did Nikki and Brie do? They didn't fight their way back.
No, they were just knocking on the door to John Cena's bedroom.
Oh, Jesus. She says Nikki came in looking for her help at WrestleMania, not the other way around.
Exactly.
And Paige thinks that Nikki's real problem is jealousy, that somebody took her spot.
We're getting closer to a light it up.
You think so? Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
There's no point now that Brie's hurt, though.
Yeah, I mean, she can just beat up Brie anyway.
I guess if Brie comes out and is like the heel manager, which they should do something like that. They tried to do it with Nikki. It didn't seem, well, it wasn't like she was a heel manager, which is weird because Nikki was like a heel and then they brought back Brie and then they're like, oh, they're faces now. And then
it was
boom,
weird.
boom, boom. What is this, Big Show?
For real.
And finally, Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn, except the match never really happens. During Sami's entrance, Randy Orton attacks Cody from behind, and then this thing turns into a straight-up fight. Ring post, steps, beer, trash cans, what? Crowd brawls,
What?
barricades.
What?
Orton eventually puts Cody's head between the ring steps and looks ready to recreate what he had done on the road to WrestleMania, but Cody escapes with the low blow. Then he puts Randy's head between the steps and tries to do the same thing before officials stop him. Cody completely loses it and keeps trying to get back at Orton while Aldis and everybody else are attempting to separate them.
Yeah, this is not a so friendly rivalry between Cody and Randy anymore.
Not even close. And I like that, man. Like, there was way too much history between these two for this to feel like two respectful baby faces trying to see who's better. If we're doing Cody versus Randy, give me this version. You know, the worst version, as they try to call it, of Randy.
Nah, we're about to see the worst version of Cody.
We might. SmackDown just ends in complete chaos. Sami gets screwed once again out of another opportunity. And Cody and Randy want to kill each other. Plus, Punk versus Owens is in waiting next week. Strong SmackDown to close that one out. Moving on to Raw. Stephanie Vaquer wastes no time. She comes out and basically says, I didn't come here to talk. Liv Morgan, bring me my championship and fight me right now.
Run it.
Liv arrives with Judgment Day and reminds Stephanie that Liv was the woman who beat her at WrestleMania and helped put her on the shelf. That was dirty right there.
So bad.
Judgment Day eventually swarms Stephanie, but Becky Lynch comes out to help. Stephanie and Becky immediately start arguing after that, though, with each other. And Judgment Day capitalizes, leaving Stephanie lying.
This is the easiest story in the world. They both hate Liv. They also don't like each other.
Yeah. The enemy of my enemy does not necessarily make you my friend in this case.
Not.
Next week, Stephanie gets her first match since WrestleMania against Roxanne Perez. Now, Javon Evans defeats JD McDonough with the OG cutter, but after the match, Big Cass attacks once again. Javon gets destroyed, asks for the microphone, and still tells Cass to come back because he wants more.
Who won it?
That was perfect.
Javon has no self-preservation instinct whatsoever.
Zero.
Not at all.
Not even. I mean, he's asking for it here, and then he's going crazy over the ropes all the time. Like, he scares the hell out of me sometimes, man.
Yeah, but he got it.
But Cass comes back, Javon fights again, and gets launched around ringside before eating another big boot. Another one. So, they're clearly continuing to build Big Cass versus Javon.
I don't understand why Javon, though.
I guess because he's like...
the new underdog?
Yeah, the new underdog, super baby face. People love Javon, so...
I had to. We outside.
Bro, that just looked like the Oddities.
Oh,
Everybody come see the greatest show.
I was doing the dances from San Andreas. 1, 2. Oh, here we go again.
Now, the tournament to decide Roman Reigns' next World Heavyweight Championship challenger also continued. We already had Penta and La Parca advance. This week, Rey Fénix defeats El Fiscal after a really athletic lucha-style match. And later, Dragon Lee defeats El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. So both Rey Fénix and Dragon Lee move forward.
The tournament is becoming a lucha showcase.
And
for sure.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Man, I saw something too about this is like 20 some odd years since El Fiscal's dad, Abismo Negro, was on Raw himself. I think it was Raw.
That's cool.
So that's a cool little thing. Like, come on. Who thought he was going to get to that point too?
Exactly.
Now, Lyra Valkyria is not handling Sol Ruka's rise particularly well these days. Lyra cuts a promo basically saying everybody is obsessed with how amazing and special Sol is. But Lyra believes she can do everything Sol can do. She's just smart not to throw herself around unnecessarily. Then they wrestle. And Sol beats her with the Soul Snatcher.
Which probably makes Lyra significantly less emotionally stable. So
for real. And it's unfortunate that Lyra gets the loss right away. I feel like you should have had Lyra lose it and like go get a kendo stick or something and beat the hell out of Sol. Or maybe after the fact, like now, she's more less emotionally stable now. So
we'll see what happens. She could snap on her next week.
Yeah, I'm guessing our best guess is this problem isn't finished for sure.
It ain't.
Then we get Braun Breaker calling out Obafemi. Braun wants to settle this right now. Paul Heyman comes out instead and asks the question, who is the future of WWE? Then Oba shows up. Oba says everybody already knows the answer. Even Brock Lesnar knows the answer. The future is the ruler, the destroyer, the bringer of war, Oba Femi. Braun wants to fight immediately, but Heyman stops him. And Heyman's argument is actually perfect. You don't give away a match between two potential main event stars because they got angry on a random Monday night. No, you promote it.
Yes, sir.
You make money off of it.
What?
And Heyman has already talked about it to Adam Pearce. So it's official. Sunday night's main event, September 6th in Atlanta, Georgia. Obafemi versus Braun Breaker.
Big, meaty man.
Slapping man meat.
Man, I know Big E going crazy, but who's the future, Paul?
Man, Oba did that so
He did.
perfect. He
He
sounded
did.
just like him. Oh, man.
I'll kick your ass right now.
This one definitely doesn't need any championship. The story is literally, who's WWE's next monster? Oba thinks it's him. Brock thinks it's him. And we all know who the real him is.
Oh, gosh. Who's him?
You know who him is.
Who?
I shouldn't even have to say it.
Him?
He's the greatest. Ain't no hating. He's the best here. You want your shot? Well, I guess you'll wait till next year.
CM Punk? Because he's him.
Anyway.
I know who you're talking about.
I know you do. I know you do. Gable defended the Intercontinental Championship against Rey Mysterio. And this was a veteran wrestling match you would expect from these two. Rey is constantly finding counters. Gable keeps attacking the leg.
Yeah.
Rey hits multiple 619s and nearly has him early. But Gable survives the frog splash by putting his knees up, gets back into an ankle lock, and eventually catches Rey with a pinning combination to retain.
Yes, sir. Gable versus Rey is one of those matches you don't really need to explain. Just ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
Ring that bell.
Gable remains Intercontinental Champion for now.
I was watching this match with my dad. He's like, I never liked him. I said, you tripping. I mean, watching that match made me feel like I was watching either Ray in the ring with Kurt,
dude,
or Eddie in the ring with Kurt.
I felt the same way when they did that spot that Eddie and Ray did whenever he did the... What was it? It's Hurricanrana, and then he lands on his...
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
I can't remember which one it was. Was it Halloween Havoc that they did that? Or was it... No, it was like a SummerSlam.
You said Kurt?
No, with Eddie.
I think they did it in both matches.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll have to look back. I think it might have been one of their Summers. No, SummerSlam was for Dom.
No, they had a 2001 match in SummerSlam.
Okay, then that's probably the one I'm thinking of. And then we get to the closing segment. Roman Reigns arrives and immediately calls for Solo Sikoa. The Usos bring their little brother to the ring. Roman reminds Solo that he's been holding on to this receipt for almost 3 years. He humiliates him, questions why Solo is even looking him in the eye. Jacob Fatu super kicks Solo and puts him in the Tongan death grip. Then Roman gets after him, tells him to sit back. Then rewards Jimmy and Jay with the oofalafel. He gives them these black uufalas and calls them his captains, made men in his bloodline. And Fatu looked pretty upset there. Yeah, exactly. He didn't like that.
He didn't like that at all. Roman is basically doing a mob induction ceremony while Solo is dying in the background.
Pretty much. And Fatu doesn't look happy, like we said. Like he looked torn, like he wanted to do something.
What you mean, bruh?
Then LA Knight arrives. He clears out Jimmy and Jay. Jacob initially hangs back because he's not supposed to touch Knight until he finally decides apparently the rules are optional and attacks him anyway. Roman stops Jacob, gets after him before things get too far. Superman punches Knight and then makes Solo watch while the Usos beat Knight down. And finally, Roman gives Solo the order. Prove your loyalty. Hit LA Knight with the Samoan Spike. Solo walks over to Knight and apologizes. Multiple times.
I'm sorry.
Then Solo spikes Roman Reigns.
Bada boom. There it is.
Jimmy and Jay look like they had just seen a ghost. Solo goes after the Usos. Knight hits Roman with the BFT. Yeah. Solo hits another Samoan Spike.
Yeah.
Knight hits Roman with another BFT.
Yeah.
And LA Knight and Solo fist bump at the end.
I love that Solo didn't just crawl back. He said he didn't want to go home anyway.
Yeah.
He didn't make me go home. I'm going to call my daddy on y'all.
I'm going to call my daddy. And that was the important part. The entire night, Jimmy and Jay were treating him like their little brother. They were trolling him. Roman talks to him like he's a servant. Roman's entire assumption is Solo will eventually fall in line because Solo always falls in line. But this time...
Samoan Spike to the throat.
And LA Knight is standing there watching the entire family finally fracture in a way that directly benefits him. So Raw ends with Roman Reigns laid out, Solo Sikoa finally taking a stand, and LA Knight looking like he just found himself a very interesting temporary ally. Mm-hmm. And that takes us through Raw and brings us back to NXT.
I do want to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Jacob just standing there not doing nothing while Roman and the boys are getting beat up.
He was told not to. But you know that Roman's going to come back and say something. Yeah. Exactly. So they're planting those seeds. Mm-hmm. I was telling them before we got on air that it's probably going to be a War Games match.
Yeah.
Solo and Fatu with Knight and possibly some two other faces, I would say.
Maybe.
Against Roman, the Usos, and the MFTs, because I feel like the MFTs are going to make their way there.
They have to.
But anyways, let's get into our NXT portion because we got another person of the bloodline in NXT. Where apparently everybody wants Tony D'Angelo's championship. And Robert Stone.
I need that.
And apparently Robert Stone has lost all control of the situation, or the contender situation at least.
Yeah, and somehow Zilla Fatu wasn't even officially employed.
You talking about those glasses and the button-up shirt?
Yes, for the most. Yeah, he wasn't even employed for most part of the show.
He wasn't.
What's up, First Mason Rook? Everybody just popping up from the crowd.
And we'll get to that part once we get later down the road, because NXT actually opened with Cruz Montana looking for Zilla. Cruz says when he came to NXT, he wasn't coming to fill somebody's spot. He was coming to take one, specifically the NXT Championship opportunity. And after Zilla screwed him last week, Cruz basically says all the hype surrounding the Fatu name means absolutely nothing to him. Zilla wasn't there yet. So Cruz announces that he's going to wait for him in the most dangerous place in NXT.
In the NXT parking lot.
Of course, because that should be a featured character by this point.
No, they just need to put that in the next WWE game. That's gonna be bigger than War Games.
I think they do have it on the new one.
That'd be crazy.
But before he leaves, Rey Fenix comes out. Fenix is there because the first match is determining who challenges him for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship next week. And there's actually some history between Fenix and Cruz. They talk about battling each other across independence, AAA, TNA, and they left out another one.
Well, I mean, that's what they say, independence.
Damn! And there's obviously some mutual respect there. So Cruz heads for the parking lot to wait for Zilla. So we've got EK Prosper, Romero Moreno, Tristan Angels, and La Parca, with the winner getting Rey Fenix next week. And this was exactly what you would expect from those four names. Fast, chaotic, everybody flying everywhere. La Parca hits the avalanche Spanish fly. Prosper breaks up the pin with the frog splash. Bodies are constantly flying in and out of the ring, on top of each other. And eventually, Prosper catches Moreno with a moonsault. EK Prosper wins. So next week, Rey Fenix versus EK for the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship.
That's gonna be wild. Hey, that boy I don't know how he does that last minute moonsault.
It looks beautiful. I love it.
I was telling Olga yesterday because I was watching it and I was like, look. It
looks like you're playing the game and it does that slow motion thing.
Yes, dude, it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh man. And of course they stare down afterwards, so that one is set.
Sure is.
Then things got considerably less friendly.
Yeah, very unfriendly.
Thea Hale takes on Natty with Jada Parker in Thea's corner and Nikita Lyons and Carmen Petrovic with Natty. These two start fighting basically before they even get properly settled into the match. I don't even think the ring bell had rung yet.
Yeah. Thea keeps trying to catch Natty in the Kimura. Natty keeps looking for the sharpshooter. Eventually, Natty gets it locked in, and she makes Thea tap while staring directly at Jada Parker. And I want justice.
Disrespect,
yeah, boy. Bro. I need Natty to get released now for this. This is heinous.
Heinous. This is heinous. Oh man, that's great, man. But that visual right there is going to stick with you in that feud with Jada Parker. But she does make it worse after the match. Nikita and Carmen told Jada back, or they hold Jada back and force her to watch as Natty puts Thea in another sharpshooter. So this thing between Natty and Jada is just getting started.
Man, if I was on commentary with that witch Natty.
Oh man, he used to sell the hell out of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Now Lucian Price gets his shot at Lexus King Speed Championship, and the birthright strategy is pretty obvious from the beginning. Waste the clock, distract Price, interfere whenever possible. Lexus spends most of the part of the match literally running away because every second he burns favors him.
Well, that's smart heel wrestling in a speed match for sure.
Yeah, because I mean,
you gotta be a quick.
You gotta do what you can to retain that championship.
Man, I got a minute to whoop that ass, bro.
Boy runs to the back and everything.
For real.
Price starts overpowering him, and it looks like he's getting closer on the championship But then the Birthright trips him behind the ref's back. Lexus hits the coronation and retains. Birthright attacks Lucian after until Bronco Nima runs down and clears the ring. And after all the tension we've seen with OTM lately, Lucian and Bronco embrace afterward.
The boys are back in town.
I mean, Bedros didn't want him no more.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, sorry, that's a spoiler because that one hasn't aired yet. But
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back. Sorry, Pat.
Damn, I mean, why the spoiler season anyway? Like 4 weeks of Raw spoiled already.
Oh, man. Then Grayson Waller comes out and starts talking about Zilla Fatu. He says he spent his whole life fighting Samoans in Western Sydney. And then starts cracking jokes about Zilla's ankle monitor.
Dang. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, Waller believes that he should already be #1 contender because Zilla cost him last week. Then NXT champion Tony D'Angelo appears and tells Waller he doesn't really care who comes after him. Japan, TNA, Raw, the island of irrelevancy. That was a great line right there.
Yeah, he'd be killing that.
Now, no matter what, and no matter who gets put in front of him, Tony continues to knock them down. Cruz returns and saying Waller needs to stop acting like he got screwed because Montana had Grayson beat before Zilla attacked. Robert Stone finally makes it out and says both Cruz and Waller have legitimate complaints. And since Zilla isn't officially under contract yet, NXT Heatwave will be Tony D'Angelo versus Grayson Waller versus Cruz Montana for the NXT Championship. Now,
look at the adjective. Yet.
very important keyword. Yes,
sir. Yet.
Now, Kendall Gray and Ren St. Clair later faced Kalani Jordan and Callie Armstrong. Kendall had been dealing with some balance issues recently, but says she's been medically cleared. The match gets really competitive, especially when Kendall starts suplexing everybody. She can get her hands on at that point, but Callie eventually catches Ren with the Callie connection and gets the pin. Kalani Jordan and Callie Armstrong win. And the victory becomes very important later because Robert Stone announces that Heatwave is going to be Zarya and Ren St. Clair will have a title unification match. Callie immediately wants a shot at the Women's Speed Championship, but Zarya basically tells her it doesn't matter because after Heatwave there will be separate. There won't be a separate Speed Championship anymore. So Stone makes the deal. Next week, Callie Armstrong versus Zarya. If Callie wins, the Heatwave title unification match becomes a triple threat. Whew.
So Callie kicked the door open for herself. But
Pretty much.
Dang, I mean, just stop trying to put your foot in there, bruh.
I mean, I love it the way she just like
She
took
said,
the
"I'ma
mic.
get me one."
Yeah, and it's happening.
I'm tired of y'all playing with me already.
Yeah.
I do like that.
It's a really good story they're telling there. And this one had a lot riding on it. If Jackson Drake not only does he get the North American Championship opportunity if he wins, Vanity Project gets an opportunity at the NXT Tag Team Championship again.
Do.
And the Vanity Project, of course, interferes constantly as he's going up against Shiloh Hill. Eventually, the referee has enough of them and throws them out. Shiloh starts building momentum. The ref gets accidentally taken out, and then Nakaru appears and sprays the poison mist in Shiloh's face.
Well, why do you do that?
I'm not entirely sure.
Because he's evil.
But that'll do it for you.
It sure will.
Jackson Drake hits the 450 splash and steals the win. So a Heatwave Vanity Project looks to be draped in gold once again. And Shiloh Hill is now in a completely different problem with Naraku.
Nah.
Now, Dion Lennox and Saquon Sugars also had a split screen confrontation. Sugars keeps hammering Dion with the idea that Dion has always needed a team around him. Dion says Saquon's whole lone wolf act is bull. So Sugars challenges him to a cage match, and Dion accepts.
Bet.
And it's been upgraded to a weaponized cage match.
That's hilarious. Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. That's next week. And based on the way those two were talking, I don't think we're getting a wrestling clinic. We're going to get nothing but complete and utter chaos in that match. And then we close the show with the guy everybody has been talking about.
Rocky.
What do you want to talk about?
Zilla.
Robert Stone officially introduces NXT's newest superstar.
Hello.
Zilla Fatu. Zilla says signing with WWE was a huge moment for him. He acknowledged the obvious. Yes, he comes from that family. But he's not here to be another nympho baby. Of course, he meant Nepo. He wants his talent to speak for itself. And if everybody is already angry about what he did last week, get used to it.
And that's how it should be done. Like we said, let Zilla build himself.
For real. Tony D'Angelo watches from the podium. Cruz Montana is out there. Grayson Waller is out there, and Zilla is antagonizing all of them. Then Robert Stone reveals something that apparently nobody else bothered to read in the contract. Zilla's first official NXT match is an NXT Championship match.
At Heatwave against Tony D, Grayson Waller versus Cruz Montana versus Zilla Fatu. Fatal 4-way for the NXT Championship. We said he was going to get a championship. We said he was going to arrive. We said he was going to
be rocket strap.
Main roster soon. I'm calling it. Yeet.
War Games.
War Games. Yeet.
Dude wasn't even officially signed at the beginning of the freaking episode and ended the night with a world title match.
You know, he got a dog walk in. It was one hell of a first day at work, and that's also one hell of a heat wave main event coming. Like you did their hell heat wave, you know what I'm saying? Kane, fire and brimstone.
Fire and brimstone. You got Tony, who's been telling everybody to line him up.
Yes, sir.
Waller, who believes Zilla stole his opportunity. Cruz, who believes both of them stole his opportunity. And now Zilla, who walked into the building and jumped straight to the front of the line.
Yep, that's going to be pure chaos.
Absolutely, and that wraps up NXT, which means that officially wraps the week of wrestling. And with that, that's going to wrap us up for this week. As always, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening. Hit that like button if you're watching us on YouTube, and let us know what you thought about everything that went down this week. Do you want to see LA Knight finally become world champion?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Who wins when Nova Femi and Braun Breaker collide?
Nobody.
And after 20 years of history, CM Punk or Kevin Owens? Plus, who walks out of Heatwave NXT champion? Tony D, Grayson Waller, Cruz Montana, or Zilla Fatu?
And please, somebody keep Ric Flair out of the ring, away from a ring, thinking about a ring, anything that has to do with the ring, even one on his finger. No.
Man, for real. Follow Wrestle Remarks across all of our socials. Share the show with another wrestling fan. And we'll be right back here next week to go through this insanity all over again with you.
Pew pew.
For Pat, I'm Chris. And this was your Wrestle Remarks.